welcome to high school basketball here on Channel 15, Rutland Region Community Television. And this afternoon's ball game comes to you from South Burlington High School, where the South Burlington Rebels entertain the Rutland High Red Raiders. The Rebels coming into this ball game with a record of 9-5, and the Raiders coming off an impressive win over Brattleboro last night at 10-4 on the season overall, 5-1 in the Marble Valley League, the A division. We got the starting lineup for the Raiders. Mike Severson being introduced here, number 14. Number 20 is Luke Barron. Number 21, Stuart St. Peter. Jimmy and Agnes. Number 25 and number 32, Jeff Sin. The Raiders being introduced, and now we'll get the South Burlington Rebel lineup here.
Now the starting lineup for the South Burlington Rebels. At forward, sophomore, number 20, David Root.
David Root, a 6'2 sophomore, number 20.
Sophomore, number 22, Pat Hale.
Peter Hale, number 22. Carl Schlemmer, that's a familiar name here at South Burlington, 6'2 senior. Kevin Lambert, he's the point guard here for the Rebels. And Matt Cummings, number 33, the 6'2 senior.
We all do this roster nationally.
Okay, back at South Burlington High School this afternoon, we got a key matchup here between the Rutland High Red Raiders and the South Burlington Rebels. Rebels lost a tough ball game last night over there to over at Barry last night, losing to Spalding High. Rebels, like I said earlier, the impressive win over the Brattleboro Colonels at home last night. And the Raiders sitting on top of that Marble Valley League at 5-1, overall 10-4. And the Raiders could definitely use a win here today against the South Burlington Rebels heading into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Jumping center for the Raiders is Stuart St. Peter, number 21. And the tip is controlled by the Raiders. Severson gets to Barron now. Barron running the point here for the Raiders. Over to Stuart St. Peter, now to Jeff Sen. Knocked around, and Barron picks it up. The St. Peter with the jumper. It's good. Stuart St. Peter opens up the scoring, and the Raiders are on the board here, 2-0. Back the other way now, and a shot from outside from Lambert, and it doesn't go, and it's picked off by Anagnos, but it's picked back away by Cummings, and he puts it in. Cummings with the steal and the bucket for the Rebels, and it's 2-2. Severson driving the base, and they're going to get Severson's called on the charge, so that'll go against the Raiders. Severson gets the personal, and it's 2-2, 7:20. First quarter action here from South Burlington High School, the Rebels and the Raiders. And a key matchup here this afternoon, the jump shot from Lambert, it's good. And Kevin Lambert, he's going to be one to watch here, the smooth point guard for the Rebels. Back the other way now with Barron. Barron goes to Anagnos. Jimmy drives the base, holds up, and it goes to Sin outside, off the rim. The rebound is controlled by Lambert. Close to that baseline, but he gets it anyway up the court now. Went to Root and back. There's a shot from outside. It's good. Hale puts it through. Peter Hale with the bucket, and it's 6-2 now. The Rebels with a 4-point lead. Back the other way with Severson. And the St. Peter underneath to Anagnos, and doesn't get the roll, and it goes back the Rebels' way. This is Hale now. Gets it ahead to the jump shot is up and in. Cummings is hot here for the Rebels, and they open up a 7-point lead, and Sid Thompson wants a timeout. Keep it right here, Channel 15, Rutland Region Community Television. We'll be back. Hey, we're back at South Burlington High School, where it's varsity basketball. The Raiders and the Rebels, 9-2. The Rebels with the lead, and they've got the hot hand from the outside. Sin, turnaround jumper in the lane is no good. And back the other way we come. This is Hale now for the Rebels, working against Sin. Wants to go to, well, we got Schlemmer in there, number 14, in the lane with the shot. And it's picked up by St. Peter for the Raiders now. Over to Sin. And Jeff Sin on the board, 9-4 now. Sin with the bucket, and it's 9-4 Rebels. Back the other way, the shot goes up and in. Kevin Lambert gets the bucket, and it's 11-4 now. The Rebels open up the 9-point lead. St. Peter with a shot, and it's good. Nice jumper by St. Peter, 11-6 now. The Rebels on top with 5:29 left, first quarter action. Lambert driving against Luke Barron. They're going to get Barron for the personal. I got a feeling Luke's going to have his hands full here with Lambert this afternoon. 5:23 to go, 11-6. The Raiders find themselves down by 5 here to the Rebels. Hale goes to Lambert. He drives it in and pulls up with a short jumper, and it's Nagnus rebounding to Sin. Sin leaves it for Severson, loses the handle, and it's covered up by Hale. Back the other way now. And the Lambert inside to Root, and he had the easy one underneath, and he couldn't go. Now it's Schlemmer, and he puts it up and in. Carl Schlemmer with the bucket, and it's 13-6 now. The Rebels up by 7. 4:50 left, and the first quarter of play here from South Burlington High School. Jeff Sin from outside, doesn't go off the back of the rim, and Barron runs it down. Lost the handle there to Nagnus, and back the other way. Lambert ahead for Schlemmer, loses the handle, and he had a push on Mike Severson. I believe that's Mike's second personal in the ball game. So Severson with 2 fouls, he's going to take a breather, and into the ball game for the Raiders is Brent Bliss, number 23. So we've got Bliss, Agnes, St. Peter, Barron, and Jeff Sin in there. This is Hale now, goes to Root. Outside back to Hale. Hale running the point, decides to take the shot, and it's rebounded by St. Peter. St. Peter ahead to Bliss now. And the Barron. Barron running the point, gets it over to Jeff Sin from 3-point land, and it doesn't go. Big rebound by Bliss underneath, and his shot's blocked out of bounds. Brent Bliss inbounds it here for the Raiders. And he gets it to Barron, who takes the jumper, and he hits it. Luke Barron, pretty play, 13-8. The Raiders down by 5, 3:51 left in the first quarter from South Burlington High. Schlemmer now, and it's Lambert in the lane. Nothing called there. Schlemmer gets the ball back, puts it up. Tipped away, rebound by Barron, who runs it down, gets it ahead to St. Peter, controls, wants to go to Bliss, but it's picked up by Lambert. And back down the other way. And Lambert with the jumper off the rim. The rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be a red ball going down here. 3:24 left in the first quarter, and it's 13-8 Rebels. Raiders now with Barron running the point. They've got Bliss in there. Jeff Sin comes over on the top. Now we go to St. Peter with the jumper, and it's good. Stuart St. Peter with the hot hand in the first quarter here, and it's 13-10 now. The Raiders climb back within 3. The Rebels on the top. Little dish from Lambert to Root. Root with the turnaround jumper, and he hits it. 15-10, the Raiders down by 5. 2:55 left, first quarter. From South Burlington High School this afternoon. Stuart St. Peter with the jumper, and that's off the back of the rim, and back the other way we go with the Rebels. Peter Hale with the ball, working outside. Now he dishes it to Schlemmer. Puts up an air ball, and it's brought down by Nagnus to Barron. Goes in, and it's knocked out of bounds there. Checking in for the Rebels is Gates. Kyle Gates, number 31's in the ball game for South Burlington. Now the Raiders inbound it, and St. Peter with the bucket. Stuart St. Peter, it's 15-12. Rebels on top here with 2:22 left. First quarter action. And the ball goes inside. Schlemmer with the turnaround, partially blocked by St. Peter, but Root in the lane. Schlemmer puts it up, and there's a foul on Luke Barron of the Raiders. So that'll put Schlemmer on the line here with 2:07 left in the first quarter. The Rebels up 15-12. I think it's 16-12 now. And for Barron is Brian Penny now for the Raiders. So Penny's in. Penny, Bliss, Anagnos, St. Peter, and Jeff Sin. Schlemmer gets 1 of 2 for the Rebels, and it's 16-12, 2:02 left, first quarter action. Brian Penny now at the point for the Raiders. Goes inside, St. Peter, the jump shot short, but Anagnos rebounds, and he puts it up off the glass. Jimmy Anagnos with a big rebound, and the glass shot 16-14, 1:45 left, first quarter. And the Raiders climb within 2 now, the Rebels. Rebels had a 7-point lead to start with. They ran out ahead of the Raiders 9-2, and the Raiders have been playing catch-up ball ever since. Lambert inbounds for the Rebels to Schlemmer. Schlemmer inside. Back to Schlemmer, now outside to number 33. That's Cummings. Want to go in the middle there. It's picked away by... oh, we got steps called on Lambert of South Burlington, so the Raiders will inbound. Clock down to 1:25 in the first quarter here. This is Brian Penny of the Raiders bringing it up, working against Hale, the Rebels. Now he gets it to Bliss. Bliss and Penny out in front, and the Jeff Sin. And the ball is stripped away there. The Raiders will inbound it. .112 left, first quarter, 16-14. Penny wanted to set up. They're going to get Brian for steps out in front there. The Raiders here making some mental errors and find themselves down by 2 points. 1:05 left in the first quarter, 16-14. It's a quick play there by St. Peter, knocks the ball out of bounds, and Schlemmer will inbound it for the Rebels. Gets it to Hale. Hale now back to Schlemmer. They turn around jumper, and the shot is up, and St. Peter picks up the personal for the Raiders. Shot went up by Gates, Kyle Gates of the Rebels, a 6'2" sophomore here. So he'll go to the foul line with 54 seconds left, and the Rebels on top, 16-14. Couple of subs coming in now. Mark Robitaille is in there for South Burlington. The shot, and it hangs around and drops in. 17-14 now, South Burlington out in front. And make it 18-14. So the Rebels up by 4 with 54 seconds left. First quarter action. And the Raiders bring it down. This is Penny now working against Hale out there. And the Jeff Sin who goes into the lane. Nice dish to Anagnos. Up off the glass and in. It's a pretty play by the Raiders. And it's 18-16. And I'm sure the Rebels will hold here for one last shot at the end of the first quarter. Hale working against Sin out in front. Now it goes to Gates. Gates was pressured by Bliss there. Now back to Hale. They got a design play here before the first quarter ends. They're setting up. And now the ball goes into number 12. That's Robitaille. Hangs it outside now, being guarded by Penny. We're down to 6 seconds. He drives into the lane. They got Penny on the fall. Brian Penny picks up the personal. Looked like there was some traveling on the play, but obviously knocked away. There's a ball tipped up at the buzzer, and at the end of the first quarter, the score: the Rebels 18 and the Raiders 16. You're watching channel 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Okay, back at South Burlington High School, the game between the Rebels and the Raiders. We start the second quarter action here with the Rebels up by 2. Lambert goes in, doesn't get it, and Jeff Sin rebounds for the Raiders. The Bliss to Anagnos. St. Peter now with the jumper, and it's good. Stuart St. Peter with the jumper, 18-18 now. Second quarter of play from South Burlington High School. The Rebels and the Raiders in a key matchup this afternoon. Rebels standing at 9-5 overall. The Raiders 10-4. The shot by Lambert's good. Lambert hits it for the Rebels, and it's 20-18. Back the other way now with Penny. Into Bliss. Anagnos, and Jimmy wanted to put a move on Schlemmer, and he gets called for steps. Ben Anderson into the ball game now for the Raiders, replacing Anagnos. We get the Raider lineup. We got St. Peter, Penny, Anderson, Sin, and Bliss. Lambert working against Jeff Sin and the Schlemmer. The jump shot is up and in. He got the screen, and then Schlemmer was wide open. He hits the jumper, makes it 22-18, and the Rebels are back on top here. There's Anderson and the Sin, the jumper, and he gets the rolling in. Jeff Sin with the basket, 22-20. The Rebels up by 2 with 6:44 left. And Lambert outside, doesn't go. And the ball is saved by South Burlington, and it's kept alive out there. This is Robitaille, drives in. We got a foul out in front. And they got Brian Penny's number. That's Brian's second personal. I'll tell you, this basketball up north here, they don't let them play. Every little thing, boy, they're calling. A little bit different up here than it is in the south. This puts Robitaille on the line here for South Burlington. And off the back of the rim, rebounded by Penny there for the Raiders. So it's Penny ahead to Sin. And Jeff with the turnaround jumper, a little bit short, but Bliss rebounds it up off the glass and in. Nice play by Brent Bliss. He gets the turnaround jumper off the glass, 22-22. And we're down to 6:13 in the second quarter here from South Burlington High. Robitaille now. And over to Root. Root working against Anderson. Pretty good matchup there. They both got good size. This is Lambert. Lambert going to shoot against Sin, and it's off the rim. And we got a foul on Root, number 20. And a cheer goes up from the Rutland crowd. They finally got a foul. And at this point, the fouls have pretty much been going against the Raiders at this point. South Burlington 7-1. So what that tells you something. So we're back the other way. The Raiders will inbound it, and Brian Penny now working outside against Hale. Over to Jeff Sin. Sin, let's see, looking for help. Wants to go inside, and Anderson picks it up. And now back to Penny. Jeff Sin now. The Raiders here. Anderson going to set it up from outside. Nice shot. Anderson gets the swish, and it's 24-22, and the Raiders find themselves on top. 5:25 left in the second quarter. Back the other way, and there's a shot by Hale, up and in. Hale going into the lane. He makes the jumper, and it's 24-24. It was good defense there by Brian Penny, too, on that play, but Hale worked his way through and ties things up here at 24 apiece. 5:03 left in the second quarter. Penny underneath, and he makes it. Brian Penny for the Raiders with the bucket underneath. 26-24, the Raiders now. Back the other way. Number, I think inside to Root. He puts it up. He's fouled, and the basket counts. Things are not going the Raiders' way here, going into the defensively. They're being whistled down for numerous fouls, and it's 26-26. Root ties it up here at this point with 4:46 left in the second quarter, and a chance to make a three-point play. Severson replaces Brent Bliss. Bliss doing a nice job there in for the Raiders. And Root completes a three-point play, so they puts the Rebels back on top, 27-26. And we're down to 4:41 left in the second quarter here from South Burlington High. Brian Penny now. And needed some help. He got it to Anagnos. Anagnos over to Severson now. Mike Severson. Raiders looking, they want to go inside here, nothing doing, being double covered now up front. Penny gets it to Anderson. Anderson, Agnes is really being hounded down inside, and the shot goes up, and it's rebounded by number 30 is in there, Jeff Earhart for the South Burlington Rebels. A 3 seconds call against South Burlington. That's only the second one to go in the Raiders' favor here, so they'll inbound it. With 4:08 left, the Raiders find themselves down by 1, 27-26. Second quarter of action here from South Burlington High School this afternoon. And let's see, the ball is up for grabs. It goes in the middle there. Finally, Lambert retrieves it, and he gets it. There's a shot. Earhart, or Cummings, Matt Cummings puts it in off the glass, and it's 29-26. Long down court pass, and he got the basket off the glass, and the Raiders come back the other way. Now inside to Anagnos, and he doesn't get the roll off the rim. He's going to be fouled by Root. I think that's Root's second personal in the ball game. So this will send Jimmy Anagnos to the line here. The senior for the Raiders finds himself down. They're down 3 points, 29-26. Make it 29-27 now. 3:36 left. And we're in the second quarter of action here. Back in is St. Peter. Stuart St. Peter replaces Ben Anderson for the Raiders. So the Raiders have Penny, Anagnos, Sin, Severson, and St. Peter now. And Jimmy Anagnos makes them both. And it's 29-28, the Rebels back the other way. Lambert working against Sin now. Over to Hale. Hale, and he gets it to Cummings with the jumper. And there's some contact, and we got a fall. This one's going to go against Schlemmer. Carl Schlemmer picks up the personal. Still going to be a little while before the Raiders reach the bonus here. Nothing like working uphill. Well, anyways, it's 29-28. And the Rebels are out in front here with 3:17 left. Sin loses the handle, but Penny picks it up. Back to Jeff Sin, going inside. Wanted to go inside, and St. Peter gets it. Now into Anagnos. And Jimmy didn't get the roll there, but we got a foul underneath. And this one's going to go against 14. That's Schlemmer. Carl Schlemmer picks up the personal, and that's his second, I believe. And there's a shot by Sin. Now it's a pass. He gets it back, and he goes into the base and gets it. Jeff Sin drove the baseline, and he puts the Raiders back up by 1, 30-29 with 2:52 left. Lambert from outside. He's been pretty quiet to this point from outside, but they keep the ball alive, and Gates got up there. Now Lambert puts it up. Gates on the second. He had 3 or 4 tries, and finally the Raiders clear it. Anagnos pulls it down and gets it ahead to Penny. Penny into the lane to St. Peter with the jumper. And that one doesn't go, but St. Peter keeps it alive, gets it back, goes into the lane, puts up the shot, and in. St. Peter working hard underneath there for the Raiders, and it's 32-29 with 2:17 left in the second quarter. And the Raiders open up a little bit of lead of their own here. Sin doing a good job on Lambert. He's been quiet from the outside this afternoon, but inside is Cummings, and he's done the damage for the Rebels. So Cummings puts in the bucket, and it's 32-31. Back the other way now. Brian Penny over to Jimmy Anagnos, drives the baseline, back out to Sin now. Sin drives the base, and they got a charge. They got a charge against Jeff Sin. The Raiders having a little bit of trouble in the middle there against this Rebel team. So now we got Hales in there, number 22. We also have number 30, that's Earhart. 31 is in there, Gates for the Rebels. And the Raiders now back on the defense. This is Lambert going against Sin. Anagnos comes up to help. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Raider ball. Raiders going with Severson, Penny, Sin, St. Peter, and Anagnos. .120 left in the second quarter. Now into Anagnos to St. Peter with the jumper and off the rim, but it's pulled away by Severson. Good rebound there by Mike Severson. Now he wants to go inside to Jeff Sin now. Jeff drives into the lane, puts up the shot, and he's fouled. That's the way to do it. You got to go inside there, and the Raiders need to be attacking the middle of that lane there. Still not in the bonus, so Severson will inbound it for the Raiders. Gets it to Jeff Sin. Now Sin goes to Penny. Penny with a pass to Severson, and it's good. Mike Severson with a jumper. And the Raiders up by 3. We're less than a minute here in the second quarter. Lambert with the shot, and he's off the mark. And the rebound is Anagnos. Stripped away, and Cummings puts it in. Jimmy Anagnos there with his pick. He got his pocket picked there by Cummings, and Cummings puts it through for the Rebels. 34-33, the Raiders with a 1-point lead, and they're going to hold for that last shot here before the first half is over. 29 seconds, down to 27 now. Penny with the ball over to Severson. Back to Sin now. Jeff Sin with the ball. 20 seconds left. Over to Anagnos. Jimmy Anagnos to Penny now. To Severson. Severson, the clock down to 10 seconds. 34-33, the Raiders by 1. Jeff Sin makes his move. And that time, this one goes against South Burlington. Jeff Sin took Lambert to into the baseline, and Lambert's going to pick up the personal. Still, the Raiders not in the bonus. And the Raiders will inbound it down to 3 seconds, and it's Lambert puts it up at the buzzer off the glass. And after 2 quarters of play, it's the Rutland High Red Raiders 34, the South Burlington Rebels 33. Keep it here on 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Okay, back here at South Burlington High School this afternoon, getting ready for the second half of play. And the Raiders on top here, 35-33 over the South Burlington Rebels. The Raiders going with Severson, Barron, Sin, Anagnos, and St. Peter here to start the second half. And the ball is worked in by the Raiders. Now Sin working against Lambert there. That's been a good matchup this afternoon with Sin and Lambert. And Anagnos with a shot goes off the side of the board, and it's rebounded by Lambert for the Rebels. Get to the head to Hale, and he's going to take it from outside, and it's in and out. The rebound controlled by Schlemmer for South Burlington to Lambert. And it's saved there, and Lambert saves it, and St. Peter picks up the loose ball, goes and lays it up and in. One against Schlemmer, and Stewart scored, so it's 36-33. And back the other way. Shot by Cummings is in and out. Scramble for the ball. Barron runs it down. Working against Lambert. Now he gets it into the forecourt to Jeff Sin. And Sin is up off the board there. No good. Anagnos. Jimmy Anagnos working hard off the board. 38-33. And the Raiders up by 5 here with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And the Rebel crowd here getting anxious. They want the Rebels to get back in this one. Lambert goes to Schlemmer. Schlemmer into the lane, and he puts it up and in. Schlemmer with the bucket. 38-35. The Raiders on top here with 6:41 left in the third quarter of play. Luke Barron into Anagnos, back to Barron. Mike Severson now with the ball. Going to St. Peter, the turnaround. He gets it to Anagnos off the glass. Nice work by the Raiders. And it's 40-35. The Raiders up by 5 here with 6:18 left in the third quarter. And the Root now. Root working against Severson of the Raiders. A little turnaround jumper. It's in and out, and the rebound is controlled by St. Peter. Pulls it down. He gets ahead to Severson. Severson now. There goes Sin into the lane, up off the glass, and in and out. He didn't get the roll. Back the other way. Lambert controls to Hale. Goes in against Barron off the glass, and it's good. 40-37 now. The Raiders on top with 5:43 left in the third quarter. Back to Anagnos now. The Raiders cross court or underneath the base there, going to Severson. Now to Barron. A steal there by Root. He gets it back to Lambert. And Root with the turnaround jumper, and then he's got that working for him. It's 40-39. And the Rebels are right back in it here with 5:19 left in the third quarter. Raiders again coming off that big victory last night against Brattleboro down at Keefe Gym. A shot by Severson, and the last couple of shots here, they've been in and out. Haven't been able to get the roll, and it's 40-39. Lambert with the shot, and he's been off the mark here. First half and the start the second half. Third quarter action, 4:52 left. The Raiders up by 1. St. Peter now with the ball, looking inside, goes to Severson. He puts up the shot, and we got a foul on Cummings. Kind of a delayed action by the official there. I didn't think they were going to call it, but at any rate, this puts Severson on the line for the Raiders. 4:43 left. And back into the game for the Raiders is Brian Penny. And Severson makes it 41-39, the Raiders. Mike Severson gets them both. It's 43-39. The Raiders on top. And in the ball game is Brian Penny now. There's Lambert with the jumper. That's no good. And the rebound is Anagnos. Jimmy Anagnos clears for the Raiders. Gets it ahead to Penny. To Severson in the lane. And it's off the front of the rim. And it's off Schlemmer there with South Burlington. So the Raiders will inbound it here with 4:25 left. Rutland on top, 42-39. Third quarter action from South Burlington High School. Severson now back to Sin. And Sin puts it up, doesn't get the roll, and it's pulled down by Schlemmer. Gets it ahead to Hale. Hale takes the jumper, and it's good. 42-41. And back come the Rebels here with 4:05 left in third quarter. This is Sin. Into Anagnos, and he wanted to go cross court there to Stuart St. Peter. The ball goes out of bounds. Coming in the ball game for the Rebels is number 12, Robitaille, Mark Robitaille, and he replaces Lambert. Kevin Lambert here, the highly regarded point guard for the Rebels, not having a good day. There's a shot underneath, and it's good by Cummings. Matt Cummings having a big day in the lane here for the Rebels, and they're back in front, 43-42. And back come the Raiders now. Anagnos into Severson. And the pass is broken up by Hale, but Severson gets it back. Now he goes to Penny, to Jeff Sin. And we got a foul. Blocking foul here is going to go against number 12. That's Mark Robitaille. So Robitaille picks up the foul. And the Raiders will inbound here with 3:20 left in the third quarter. A little discussion here. I think he was in the, well, wait a minute. He was in the act of, yeah, Jeff Sin was in the act of shooting, so he's going to get 2 shots. And a chance to put the Raiders back in the lead here. The shot is, the first one rolls off the rim. It's 43-42, South Burlington in the lead. Sin gets the second one. Jeff gets 1 of 2, and it ties things up here with 3:18 left in the third quarter of play. Hale goes inside, and the ball knocked away by Ben Anderson. Anderson's in the ball game now. We got Anderson, Sin, Anagnos, Penny, and Severson. The shot, the turnaround jumper. Anderson rebounds. Bring it down now with Sin. And he wanted to go to Penny or Anagnos, either one, and they got Jeff for steps. So he takes the seat, and Luke Barron comes into the ball game. So you got Barron and Penny out there now, and in the backcourt for the Raiders. Bringing it up now is Hale for the Rebels, and he lets it go, and it's off the side of the rim, and it's controlled by South Burlington. And Gates puts it up. That doesn't go. Anagnos rebounds, and they get tough underneath there. The Raiders, big rebounded in there by Jimmy Anagnos to Severson. Back to Anagnos. Barron now. Barron to Severson. Severson Jimmy and Agnes. And they go inside, and the shot goes up, and Jimmy's going to be fouled on the play. Some good movement out there by the Raiders on that trip down the court. And Agnes going to the foul line here with 2:25 left in the third quarter of play. Make it 44-43. And the second shot goes in, 45-43, and Agnes hits them both. And the Raiders are on top with about 2:20 to go here in the third quarter of play from South Burlington High. The Rebels and the Raiders. And the jumper by Schlemmer goes up. It's rebounded, and Agnes going hard to the boards. And Jimmy was fouled on the play. Kevin Lambert back into the ball game here for the Rebels. And in for the Raiders is Barron. So you got Barron and Agnes Sin with the turnaround jumper, and it doesn't go. Rebound, Severson though. And working again. This time we got a foul. That's going to overrule the jump ball. So the foul is going to be called on number 14, that's Schlemmer. Carl Schlemmer gets the personal, and it's Mike Severson at the free throw line here for the Raiders. And Severson gets the first one, make it 46-43 Raiders with 1:57 left in the third quarter. And Mike gets them both. Severson sinks both free throws, 47-43. The Raiders by 4, down to 1:53 now. Third quarter player from South Burlington High School. The Rebels now with the ball. This is Robitaille. And pretty move inside. Anderson. Looks like a nice block to me. Ben Anderson in the lane there. But he picks up the personal. So that'll send Mark Robitaille to the free throw line here for South Burlington. 1:43 on the clock. Third quarter action here from South Burlington, and Robitaille puts up the first one. Makes it 47-44. And it goes off the front of the rim on the second attempt, and it's rebounded by Barron of the Raiders. Luke Barron in it now. It's over to Agnes, and Agnes to Anderson. Anderson inside to Jeffson with the move on Lambert. There's contact there, nothing called. And a jump ball. The possession arrow is in favor of South Burlington. And the Coach Thompson wanted something called on the collision there, but no call, and back the other way we go. Lambert's pushing off, going into the lane, no call there, and he misses the shot twice. Gates puts it up, and a basket finally stays in the hole that time. Or the ball finally stayed in the hole that time, and Gates was fouled, so that'll send him to the foul line. The Raiders have been on the short end of some of these calls here this afternoon. But 1:14 left. Earhart's in for Schlemmer for South Burlington. And this puts Gates on the free throw line for South Burlington now, 47-46 with 1:14 left. Agnes pulls it down for the Raiders. 1:11 left in the third quarter. And Barron brings it back for Rutland. Into an Agnes now. Goes into Sin. Sin working against Lambert. Puts up the shot and in. Jeff Sin with the bucket. And it's 49-46, 54 seconds left, third quarter. And Coach Dave LaPointe of South Burlington says, let's hold it for one shot here before the quarter comes to an end. 42 seconds left on the clock. 49-46, the Raiders by 3. Rebels now holding it out. This is Robitaille. And he's stretching. Now they're stretching the way out here. Robitaille is out there. going side to side. They're setting something up here for the last shot of the third quarter. The Raiders pretty much standing in, stretching a little bit on the defense and then pulling it back in there. This is Robitaille, now goes inside, puts up the one-hander, it doesn't go, and it's rebounded by Anagnos. Big rebound by Jimmy Anagnos to Luke Barron, who lets it fly at the buzzer, and that'll do it. Good defense by the Raiders there towards the end of the quarter, and it's 49-46 after 3 quarters. The Raiders over the Rebels here on 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Back for the fourth quarter of action here from South Burlington High School. It's 49-46. The Raiders with a 3-point lead, and there's Jeff Sin, and that one goes off the back of the rim, and it's pulled down by Robitaille of the Rebels. Robitaille gets it to Lambert. They go inside to Root with the turnaround jumper, and he makes it good. Root, the sophomore here for the Rebels, and he puts it in, and it's 49-48 with 7:32 left here, fourth quarter action. And this thing here is just heating up now. A lot of movement inside there, a lot of banging around on the bodies. The shot goes up and it's tipped away, and Robitaille wins it out. It's to the head, and the shot goes up and in. Cummings puts it up for the Rebels, and South Burlington back out in front 50-49. 7:08 left. Fourth quarter action here from South Burlington High School. And Agnes now being hounded out in front there to Barron. Severson with the ball, has it go off his chest. He gets it back though, and he puts up the jumper. And it doesn't go. The rebound, Sin underneath, puts up the fadeaway, and it's good. Jeff Sin goes to the floor. No call down there. I don't know what the official was looking at, but at any rate, here's Lambert down the other end. Nothing doing. The ball tipped around, and St. Peter pulls it down. Ahead to Sin. Jeff Sin working against Robitaille now. Pulls it back outside. Now to Barron. Barron works his way into the lane, puts up the shot off the glass, and it's no good. The rebound. And nice play by Barron. Tipped it away at the last minute. The Rebels had a couple of fellas down at that end of the court, and they were wide open. Well, Barron saved the bucket there, and it'll be South Burlington ball inbounded here. 6:25 left, 51-50. The Raiders on top. Fourth quarter action from South Burlington High School. This is Robitaille now. Robitaille working against Barron of the Raiders. Now over to Lambert. Lambert's been pretty quiet this afternoon. And they want to go inside. It's tipped away by Anderson. The Raider lineup, we got Sin, Barron, Anagnos, Anderson, and Severson. It's a Rebel ball out of bounds, and it's pulled away by Barron. Gets the steal, drives the link, lays it up and in. Luke Barron, pretty play for the Raiders, and they're up by 3 with 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Back the other way, Robitaille for the Rebels. Gets it into Lambert. Lambert, and he dragged his pivot foot. And they got a call on Lambert for traveling, and back we go the Raider way. And coming into the ball game is number 22 for the Rebels. That's Hill, and also Roots back in there. There's Anagnos driving the base, gets it back to Jeff Sin from three-point land, and that one goes off the side of the rim, but Anagnos rebounds, and Jimmy Anagnos with the bucket. 55-50 now. The Raiders by 5 with 5:34 left. Fourth quarter play here. The ball is off Schlemmer, but he retrieves it. And he goes to Lambert. Lambert going against Barron now. Pulls up for the jumper and hits it. Lambert finally gets the jumper, and it's 55-52, 5:12 left, fourth quarter here. Barron, and gets it to Anderson. Anderson in the lane to Sin. And coming up short, he puts it back up again and got it. Off the glass, Jeff Sin with the kiss for Sin, and it's 4:54. In the fourth quarter, there's the shot by Lambert. He's come to life here. The last couple of shots have put in by Kevin Lambert of the Rebels, and it's 57-54. The Raiders by 3 with 4:40 left in the fourth quarter of action here. South Burlington High, the ball now being worked by the Raiders. It's Anagnos over to Barron, now to Anderson. Anderson wants to go into the lane here. Now he goes to Anagnos. To Severson to Barron. Barron now to Sin. Back to Severson. Severson in the lane, and Agnes with the shot's good, and he's fouled. Nice play inside. They went to Agnes under the basket, and Jimmy puts in the shot, and he gets fouled. Got a chance for a 3-point play here. Fouls on Schlemmer of South Burlington. 4:14 left in the fourth quarter. And Jimmy and Agnes completes a 3-point play. It's 60-54 now. The Raiders up here by 6 with 4:08 left. And Coach Lambert of, or LaPointe of South Burlington calls timeout. You're watching 15 Rutland Region Community Television. Back here at South Burlington, where it's 60-54, the Raiders over the Rebels with 4:06 left. Fourth quarter action here. South Burlington with the ball. Now they Cummings had it. He gets it to Schlemmer now. Schlemmer back to Lambert. Lambert working against Sin out there. In the root. Well, we go back to Cummings. Cummings into Lambert, drives in. And we got a foul going against Jeff Sin. Picks up the personal for the Raiders. And we're down to 3:43, fourth quarter action, 60-54. They go inside and it's knocked away. Can't do that. You're out of bounds and you come in and you got the ball in your hands. It goes back over to the other team, so the Raiders will control. And this is Barron bringing it down now, working against Hale out in front. Agnes to Jeff Sin, down to 3:29 now. The Raiders up by 6, 60-54. And Severson in the Agnes off the glass, doesn't go. Root's got it. He's tied up by Barron, and they don't call the jump, so they go down the other end, and Lambert lets it fly, and that's way off the mark. The rebound is controlled by Barron. Ahead to Jimmy and Agnes. A steal, but he's on the line. It's a good play defensively there by Cummings. Unfortunately, he stepped on the back, the end line there, and it'll be a Raider ball inbound underneath the basket here with 3:05 left. Luke Barron now gets it to Sin. Jeff back to Barron. And we go to Severson. Mike gives it back to Barron now. Barron. And let's see, goes inside to Anderson. It's knocked away. It's picked up by Cummings. He gets it ahead to Hale. And it's knocked out of bounds there at the last second by Jimmy and Agnes. Both coaches here working the floor very hard. It's a big win for either team here. And there's a bucket by Hale going in, driving the lane. Makes it 60-56, and the Rebels draw closer, and the Raiders want to call a timeout. Timeout here at South Burlington with the score 60-56. The Raiders on top on Channel 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Okay, back here at South Burlington, the Raiders with a 4-point lead, 60-56. And we've got 2:35 left in the fourth quarter. Well, they got Severson for stepping on the line over there, so it'll be Burlington or South Burlington ball. Back into the ball game for Anderson is Stuart St. Peter. So set the Raider lineup here for the last 2:33. We got Severson, Sin, Agnes, and there's a shot up there off the glass, and it's good. Kevin Lambert with the bucket for South Burlington, and 60-58. The Rebels make it interesting here. Sin working against Lambert, gets it to Severson to Agnes. Jimmy brings it into the lane, throws it up, no basket. We got a foul before the shot. Lambert picks up the personal. We'll set the Raider lineup. We got Severson, St. Peter, and Agnes, Sin, and Barron in there. And 2:14 on the clock, 60-58. And Jimmy and Agnes at the foul line. Make it 61-58. And Jimmy makes them both. And Agnes with both free throws, 62-58 now with 2:10 left. And Cummings Hauls it down for the Rebels, and they go to Lambert now. Lambert working against Severson. Back to Hale now. Hale at the top of the key, and he tried to go to Cummings, and he just couldn't get to it. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Raider ball here. We're down to 1:58, and the Raiders need the bucket here. This is Barron working against Lambert. We got contact here. Lambert's pushing him. And Lambert didn't like the call, but that's the way it goes. And he's picked up 2 quick fouls. He just puts Barron on the foul line with 1:53 left. That's Lambert's third. This is Barron at the free throw line, and didn't get the roll. It's pulled down by Root of the Rebels. He gets it ahead to Hale, to Lambert, to Schlemmer. Schlemmer from outside, and he makes it 62-60 with 1:40 left. And we're going to have, this is a barn burner here, the last quarter. Been nip and tuck all the way. This is Barron now, back to Sin. Severson over to, back to Barron. Barron, and they clear out. Jimmy and Agnes brings it back out now. Back to Barron. Barron now drives in, and he got trapped there, but he got out of it. Gets it back outside to Sin. Back to Barron. And Barron drives into the lane. The shot went up off the side of the rim, and Lambert goes ahead. It's tipped out. This should be a Raider ball, because I think it was... No, they called South Burlington ball out of bounds. Looks like it was tipped away by one of the Rebel players, but unfortunately for the Raiders, South Burlington puts it in play now. And we're less than a minute here at South Burlington. There's Cummings, and he gets it back to Schlemmer in the lane with the jumper. Tipped away, nice play there. And Agnes with the tip, and back the other way, and there's a foul on Hale. Hale gets called for the personal. And the South Burlington Rebels here getting desperate. 45 seconds, they trail by 2. The Raiders on top, 62-60. And this will send Mike Severson to the line. And Mike will be looking at well, first of all, we're going to have a timeout. So with that, we'll take a timeout, 62-60. The Raiders over the Rebels here on 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Back at South Burlington High School, where the Raiders have a 62-60 lead, and Mike Severson on the free throw line here with 45.3 seconds left in this one. And the Raiders, big ball game here today, and they've got 4 games left that we know of. We don't know if that second game with South Burlington is going to be made up, but Severson on the line here. And Mike gets the first one, got another one coming to him, 63-60. The Raiders next week go to Hartford Tuesday, and down at the friendly confines of Convent Avenue Gym on Friday night against MSJ. And then the following week they got Springfield and then Mount Anthony both at home. Second shot by Severson is good, and it puts the Raiders up by 4, and time's running out on the Rebels here with 40 seconds left. There's a Lambert working against Severson. He gets it to Hale, who puts it up, and it goes off the back of the rim. Lambert works his way in, puts it up off the glass, and a tip-in is good. 64-62, and the Raiders call a timeout. 64-62, and the Raiders have called a timeout with 24 seconds left here on Channel 15, Rutland Region Community Television. Hey, back at South Burlington, hang on to your seats. This one here is not over yet. 64-62. The Raiders with 24 seconds left. They're on top over the Rebels. And the Raiders will inbound it here. The Rebels go into full court press. Severson now looking for help. And he calls another timeout. That's quick thinking by Mike Severson. Couldn't find anybody. Everybody had a Rebel on and covered them, and he called the timeout. We're going to leave it right here. The Raiders, down in the last 2 weeks of the season here, they've got the Hartford Hurricanes Tuesday night over there at Hartford. And then they travel down to MSJ, and that's going to be an interesting contest because the Mounties beat Mount Anthony last night down at Bennington. So that'll be an interesting ball game. And then the Raiders will host the Springfield Cosmos, which a team that the Raiders lost to back a couple of weeks ago. That was a close game. They lost by 1 point. And then they'll close it out with Mount Anthony, another team that gave the Raiders some trouble down at Mount Anthony. The Raiders were able to pull off a 3-point victory down there. And this one here is a close one. And the Raiders would like to get this one here into with the win column. And Severson's going to inbound it here with 24 seconds left. Sin's got the ball, and he's fouled. I think this one here is going to go against 33, Cummings there. No, they got Schlemmer with the foul. Schlemmer gets the personal, and with 64 to 62 here, the Raiders on top, 22 seconds left. And Jeff Sin goes to the free throw line. And that was, let's see, this should be, that's going to be all for Carl Schlemmer of the Rebels. So Coach LaPointe putting in a sub here. And into the ball game comes Jason Desjardins. So Desjardins is in there, number 13. And they're going to ice Jeff Sin here at the foul line. South Burlington calls a timeout. So we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching 15 on your cable access station. Yeah. All right, back at South Burlington High, where it's 64-62. The Raiders with a 2-point lead over the Rebels, and it's 22.6 seconds left on the clock. And let's see, we got a little bit of discussion here now. Waiting to put another substitute in for the Rebels. Jeff Sin looking at a 1-and-1 here now. And Jeff doesn't get it, and it's rebounded by Root, South Burlington. Boy, they had a golden opportunity there. They needed to convert there. Severson falls with 15.3 seconds left. And actually, you know, that's a good fall there at that point, because what this does, well, they got 2 more to give, so that's a smart fall there. And there you go, there's the other one. 13.8 seconds now. So they got 1 more here, and that'll put South Burlington into the bonus after this one. It goes to Lambert, and they follow him with 12.7 seconds left. And let's see. Oh, my mistake. They got 1 more here then. That's 6 there, so the Raiders will have 1 more to go before they go to the free throw line. They foul Lambert. Luke Barron picks up the personal, and we're down to 10.7 seconds on the clock. So this sends Lambert to the line. And it's 64-62. And let's see now, there's some discussion there with the clock. Lambert's on the foul line. He puts the first one in. It's good. I think Coach Thompson thought he had 1 more foul than what he did to waste. And Lambert's at the foul line with 10.7 seconds left, and he doesn't get the second one, and Barron rebounds. Big rebound by Luke Barron, and he's hammered down there by Lambert. I think that's Lambert's 4th. Lambert with the push, and with 7.6 seconds left, the Raiders clinging to a 1-point lead here, and that'll send Barron to the free throw line. And Coach Thompson says no more fouls. So at this point, the Raiders have run out of fouls. They don't want to put the Rebels on that free throw line here with still plenty of time left. 7.6 seconds left, and Barron's at the free throw line. Luke Barron for the Raiders, and it doesn't go. Raiders with their trouble at the foul line now. Here comes, he's pushing on. Oh, man, I'll tell you, that was pretty obvious. Foul's going to go against Luke Barron, but the push-off by Lambert. Well, sometimes you get him and sometimes you don't. And this will put Lambert at the free throw line here with 3.2 seconds left. That's 5 on Barron. He falls out, and into the ball game for the Raiders comes Brian Penny now.
For Rutland, number 24, Brian Penny.
Well, Lambert here with a chance to tie it up and possibly put his team ahead here. Kevin Lambert sinks the free throw, and it's 64-64. And Coach LaPointe says no fouls on that end of the court either. And the second one, he got them both. It's 65-64, 3.2 seconds left. Severson puts up the shot, and it doesn't go. And that'll do it here from South Burlington. It was a heck of a ball game. The final score, the South Burlington Rebels 65 and the Rutland High Red Raiders 64. That'll wrap it up.